So I'm trapped in my own algorithm. I got up this morning, had a cup of coffee, mooching about like all of us do on a Sunday morning, and then I clicked on YouTube. And I know the YouTube algorithm represents the screen, what it thinks you are and who you do. And then I realized, Jesus, I'm trapped in my own abject misery sometimes. You think you're overwhelmed by what's happening in the world, but then you realize you're underwhelmed by how it's being responded to, if that makes sense. I go on YouTube, I click on this news channel, I click on that, I click on the YouTube, recommends, whatever it is it tells me to do. I end up following it like a robot. And I was thinking about, well, you idiot, you're such a hypocrite, you've got your own channel. Who are you to decide whether YouTube's underwhelming or overwhelming? And then I was looking at some of my history as things that I've clicked on, but things that have been recommended to me because I've watched something adjacent or even similar. It's going to ram it down my throat. And that's fine. Okay, I get it. I get to scroll on, click exit, do whatever you need to do to move on with your day. And I was thinking about what I've watched on YouTube over the last, maybe more since the lockdowns. And this is not about the lockdowns, but since then, when we're all trapped in that environment where we had to look at other things in order to not go crazy or find out what was going on. And it still persists today to some degree. And don't get me wrong, I'll look at some of the channels like the Dodo with the dogs and stuff, and it's cool. And then I'll get another million channels about dogs and cats, and I'm thinking, oh, yeah, okay. Then I'll watch something on photography, then I'll get another 10 channels on photography. And so it's that constant reinforcement of what it thinks you like, without me reinforcing to myself what I know I like. What do I like? I like getting up in the morning. I like having a cup of coffee. I like thinking about what I'm going to do, because most of the week it's thinking about how I'm going to get to work that day, how I'm going to pay my bills that week. What am I going to do to ensure that the employment history that I've got maintains for another 7 years before I can retire? And then I was looking, and I know I seem to be all over the place here, guys, but that's where your brain is in the morning, right? Or that's where your brain is a lot of the time during the day. It's all over the place until you force it to focus. And then I realized I was looking at some channels and I was thinking, God, not another channel telling me how to make 1 million. Another channel telling me how to get 4,000 hours in less than 12 minutes. I don't object to those channels because I don't have to watch them. Nobody forces me to click on something. It's trying to. And then I thought, Alan, you hypocrite, you're on here. But I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm not trying to create anything. I'm just trying to mirror what it is as someone who's nearly 60 thinks in the morning. And sometimes I wish I just hadn't ever discovered YouTube, or YouTube had discovered me, whatever that means. And then I looked at my books, which are behind me over there in the corner, and I thought, yeah, I haven't read a book in a little while. I think the last book I read was Man's Search for Meaning, which is not an easy read, guys. And I'm reading John Connolly at the minute, which I think is a great Irish author, you know. And I thought to myself, okay, you've got a music channel, you do this, you do that. But actually, most of my day is wake up, focus on what I've got to do, focus on the bills, focusing on when I'm going to meet my friends, focusing on sport, thinking about what I'm going to do in the summer holidays, what I'm going to do at Easter. I've got a wedding coming up. I need to get a suit ordered. And all of that just drifts YouTube out of my brain. So it's finding that balance between this IRL, Jesus, in real life, fucking hell, pardon the French. If I hear some of the comments again about in real life, the grind of YouTube, but just get up and go to work. That's a grind. I've been doing this since I was 14, best part of 46 years. So am I going to grind it out on YouTube? No, for as long as I enjoy it, it's not a grind. If I have to think up and think to myself, okay, I've got to do a video today. Like I wasn't going to do a video. I was just going to do, where am I going? I've got to, yeah, there you go. I'm fortunate to own another house. Now it needs a new roof, and that's going to cost thousands. And the builders think it's a holiday. You know, the residents living there told me, well, they had a 2-hour lunch yesterday. I'm like, what? A 2-hour lunch? Okay, so I've got the whole going to deal with builders. And then I'm going to go and have lunch with my brother, which is kind of cool because it's great. He cooks for me. Good move. So in and amongst all of that, how important is YouTube to my day to day? Actually, it's important because it's reminded me I've just got to get up and do things during the day. Whether I like it or not, whether I choose to or not, I can't let the day happen to me. So all my Gen Xers out there and Zs and Ys and alphabet soup people that we are, when you wake up in the morning, what do you turn on first? The kettle or YouTube? Yeah, that's what I want to know. Which do you look forward to most in the morning? Your first cup of coffee or your first piece of news that reminds you that you live in a miserable cesspit of an environment that only you control as you move forward away from it? Harsh, I know, hypocritical probably, but those are my thoughts. Let me know, guys, in the comments.